Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Frums reaction. This is Hall, as requested by executive producer Saint Vina, and that's pretty much it. It's another Frums song, and I'm excited because it's Frums, and it's been a while since I've heard Frums, and I want to hear what this one's like. I know it's a little bit different because Vina did give me that context, but that's basically it for context. It's just that it's a little bit different, so I have to figure out why now. So without further ado, let's go! Okay, starting the Frums way. Atmospheric. And confusingly analog digital. Ooh. Ooh. This is gonna be one of those songs where I'm just gonna like space out, staring into the distance, contemplating my life choices. Wow. Okay. Oh, all right. For a second there, like I think it was supposed to be like a clacking sort of sound, but for a second I thought it was like slaps or clapping. God, despite how messy this is, it's still Frums in their element, in that sound design mess that they exist in. It's so messy. It's so messy, but there's so much in there. Like, I can't tell if this is like a bunch of layers, like 100 layers of stuff, or if it's like mostly noise in a couple of layers, because it could be that as well as part of the sound design makeup here. That's such a weird, like the time signature choice here is odd. And there's a shift, a change up right there. It's so insane. Every single time. Just sliding everywhere. Why not? What the hell? This is definitely different. This is a lot more hectic. And then I speak, and it chills out a little bit. It's how it always happens. Every single time. It's how it always happens. I call it out for being like, wow, that's a lot. And it's like suddenly peel back 50 of the layers. My tinnitus is acting up. Yeah, go ahead. Throw some jazz licks in there, why not? God, these are so dense. I keep saying that, and I mean it. Every single time I say something is dense, it adds another layer, just like the song is doing. Because it needs to be said that many times to reflect how dense it is. And I love those, like, jazz chords just kind of in there for flavor, if anything else. Ooh. What the hell? Okay, now I'm in a helicopter. The helicopter just ascended into nowhere. Somehow. It broke reality. That seems pretty on brand for this song. See, that time it proved what I said, instead of proving me wrong. What I want to say about this song, I'm saving it. Apparently, for now. It's songs like that are so dense in everything it's doing. And again, I still mean it for this section. If I say the word dense during this portion of the video, it counts to how many times I said it earlier. This is so dense that it is impossible to peel back all the layers and give it a truly objective view. I can say, wow, there's a lot going on here, like I always do, and I always mean it, but there are so many layers in this one that I cannot truly actually figure out what any of them are doing or if there's a point to any of them. Sometimes you can tell with sound design what the point of a specific sound or sample being used is doing to the song or for the song. For this one, there's so much of it, there's so much movement, there's so many layers. I don't think legitimately that is even physically possible. There is just so much in here. It does back off at like 1 or 2 points, but even then, there's still enough like synth layers underneath it that's making me wonder if that atmospheric bass line that has kind of spanned the entirety of the song is just there, you know, and there's not much to do with that. There's not much to say, unfortunately. As cool as it is that people use all these layers and it is insanely dense, it's still a matter of not being able to piece any sense out of it. And I do wonder if at times that's exactly the point. I've brought that up many times before in other videos, both for Frums and with other people, where they make songs like this that are so entirely congested, I did not say the D word, where it's like you can't tell what any of it's supposed to be doing, and that may or may not be the point. I feel like that's kind of the same way when like people make performance art where like there's actors involved and that is the art piece, and like their interaction with a physical media is something, you know, like that whole story being told is the point. And I wonder if that's similar for this style of music, where there is so much going on and that confusion and that nonsensical structure. That might be the whole concept here. That might be the thought behind the song. Maybe it's supposed to personify that noise and fuzz in your head where you're not really making any sense. And it's kind of like thoughts stacked on top of each other and you're struggling trying to find the sense, like where is the melody? And once in a while, you can hear things melodically in this song that are peeking through, like those jazz bits in there. There are still melodic sections, chords in here. It does have that one spot where everything kind of like fades away and there's a little bit more focus on the melody, but then it all comes back in, rushing back in, stacking on top of you. It's weighing you down, like you're underneath all that pressure, and it's just berating you with all that information. And I think, at least in an artistic sense, that is totally valid. I love that in general when it comes to sound design being used as like a vehicle for that sort of conversation, these reflections of the human mind. For all I know, Frums might be making some nonsensical stuff just because I couldn't think of anything more sensical to make. And to an extent, there is an artistry to that as well, just like making anything that's like a really poppy banger, something that's on the radio and everyone loves, something that's super accessible musically. And then there's room for stuff like this. I've clowned on like noise music in the past, stuff where it's just static and nonsensical stuff going on. There's no like rhythmic pattern to it. There is for this, and that's why I don't clown on stuff from Frums, because even if it is this seemingly nonsensical thing, there are still rhythmic constants throughout the song. There's still structure. There's still a baseline sense in the track, whereas the noise stuff is literally nothing. It's just basically somebody opening up Audacity and slapping in completely at random with no thought noise samples from YouTube. And that's it. You know, like that's a completely different category, and why I kind of clown on that, because I don't see that as music as much as I do a texture source for other things, which is useful in its own right, but calling it music is a little bit presumptuous in my opinion. For this, there is a structure, there is a goal, there is a musical context here, and it is making that clear, even if the point is to be as unclear as possible. So I'm probably getting way too deep into that concept, but that's my general thought on this one. I think that Frums, for this song, made something that is so complex that I can't truly tell if there was really a point to this, or if it was kind of like a middle finger in concept. It might be either way, but either way, it is art, and I really do appreciate Frums for like not straying away from doing that, not avoiding that sort of thing, and just going, you know what, I don't really have much else going on today, I'm gonna make this nonsense. And even if there is a deeper psychological purpose to this, an emotional backbone to this song that I am just unaware of, if it's a reflection of their own mind, something that they were going through, and this is like a physical manifest of what they're thinking when they're making music, all this random stuff piling on, that pressure, if that's the point, it is just as valid. So I like it either way. This is a really cool song, definitely different from the other Frums stuff I've heard, a lot more dense, but I think that's about all of my opinion on it. So thank you all so very much for watching. Thank you, St. Vina, for putting this into the queue. It's nice to hear stuff like this where it's a little bit different, but still definitely the same person, having that artistry and getting to view different aspects of it from different corners and experiencing that is always fun. So thank you again for putting this into the queue. And if any of you have something from Frums you really want me to get to, drop it in the comments below and I will do my best as always. Or if you want to guarantee something much like St. Vina did for this one, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships where you can force me to listen to something. Doesn't matter who it's by, what it is, what it's from, if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guaranteed request. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!